So welcome you all in this new video, and you have seen this kind of news this year, okay, which is saying that in 2026 there will be huge impact of El Nino on Indian monsoon, okay. So in this video, very quickly within the 5-6 minutes, we will understand how the El Nino, okay, impact Indian monsoon. Okay, if we talk about the Indian monsoon, we have to understand that actually where the India is locating, okay. So for example, this is the map of our India, okay, and here is the Tropic of Cancer. I will make a detailed video that how the wind pattern around the world works, okay, how they flows, how their directional patterns are, formed, and how the Walker circulation, all these things I will discuss, okay, how the horizontal, vertical circulation of the air, works all around the world. And see, so this is the Tropic of Cancer. What we have to understand, just to understand El Nino, okay, so that's what I am telling you here, point to point, without any extra thing, okay. Just think that. So this is the Tropic of Cancer, which is about 23 half degree north, okay, and here is the equator. So what happened, you just remind or learn all these fact whatever I'm saying, okay, right now to you without any logic, okay. Because if I have to tell you the logic, I have to first make you understand that how the world's wind pattern work, how the wind system work, how the Walker circulations work, how the jet streams work, all the things, okay. But here, just to make you understand about the El Nino, I'm just making the shortcut, about the how the facts work here, okay. See, so this is the equator, and this, please keep in mind, it is always the low pressure, okay. In another video where I will explain all the things that how the what this wind system works, there I will explain each and everything, okay. See, what happen in the summer days in the northern region, this equator moves toward the north pole, okay. You all know this, like we have 21st June when the sun is above the Tropic of Cancer, okay. So it means that in the when there is summer in the northern hemisphere, it means that sun is moving toward the northern pole, okay. So now just understand this thing, that India is a tropical and subtropical country, okay. So equator is moving upward in the summer or May to September, you can say. And in this is the period when India receives its maximum rainfall, okay. See, this is the monsoon which affect the you know India's agriculture, India's livelihood, India's water supply, groundwater recharge, all is majorly depend on this monsoon. So what are the factors which you can say affect this monsoon? So first one is this intertropical convergence zone. That is this, okay, the equatorial belt, the low pressure equatorial belt, okay, ITCZ. It moves upward to the northern region of India, okay, because of which there is monsoon, okay. So keep this thing very simple, okay. Whatever I'm telling you, just accept them as a facts without going deep in their logic. I will make a separate video for that, okay. So, and second thing is Tibetan plateau, okay. Tibetan plateau is here, okay. So why it is very important? It is just because when Tibetan plateau, it is all type of bare land, and when the sun is above them, okay, here in the northern hemisphere, so it is a warm. And as a basic science fact or science logic, we know that, okay, when for example a region, this is region 1 and this is region 2, a region 1, if its temperature is very high, okay, its temperature is very high, it means that its pressure will be low, okay. Its pressure will be low, and the region which is temperature whose temperature is, you can say, very low, or it is a cold region, okay, it is a cold region, and it will have a high pressure, okay. And as a basic science, we know that winds, air, and any kind of the fluid, okay, that moves from high pressure to low pressure, okay. This is the basic concept that you have to understand, okay. And on the basis of this, the whole El Nino concept you can understand. So I'm telling you these two facts only. There is a reason, so I cannot confuse with you so many factors, just remind one thing and just always remember one thing, that is this: if we talk about the weather system, if we talk about the climate, never think that there is any kind of the 1, 2, or 3 factors which are going to affect that. Okay, there are unlimited factors. A very small regional change can make, global impact in the climate sphere, if we talk about. So scientists are still understanding that how these weather patterns completely works. Okay, and still we are moving deep into this mechanism, that how the weather system works. So just keep you limited with two concept here. Okay, that is the tin plateau and how the pressure system work, and how this intertropical convergence zone moves upward in the north in India. Okay, now just think here. Okay, this is the El Nino which I was talking about. So for to understand, to make you understand about this, you just first accept this thing, that whatever, okay, happen in the one region of the world, there is the cause for it in the another region of the world. Okay, so this is what I am talking about. Okay, El Nino and La Nina has not to related any relation with the Indian. So there is some kind of relation, but not that much relations. Okay, so the relation comes from Pacific Ocean. Okay, and many will think that Pacific Ocean is far away from India. So how these kind of the ocean impact India's monsoon? So just look at here. This is your Pacific Ocean. Okay, and this is South America. Okay, this is Australia. Okay, and this is India. So what happened in the normal years? Okay, during this period of time, when we are talking about May to June, July, August, September, okay, what happened, this region, which is the Eastern Pacific Ocean, okay, it becomes too cold. Okay, and it is the natural phenomena. So it becomes too cold, and as I told you, when the region is too cold, it will push the wind away from that region. Why? Because it will have the high pressure. Okay, it will move the air from high pressure to lower pressure region, that is this kind of region. Because in this kind of region, type of region, okay, there is snow, sorry, direct sun. Okay, and there is huge warming, and there will be low pressure. So the wind moves from here to here. Okay, like this, like this. And when, look at here carefully, see, when the winds move like this, like this, like this, and on the influence of Coriolis force, these wind moves like this. Okay, and there are two parts of the monsoon, there is Arabian monsoon and Bay of Bengal monsoon. Okay, two branches of this monsoon, that's a separate issue altogether. Just understand this, how this simple phenomena work. Okay, so the winds are coming from the colder region, the higher pressure regions, that is in the western Pacific, sorry, Eastern Pacific Oceans, in the western shore of the South America. Okay, and moving, through the Australia, and then under the influence of the Coriolis force, they move toward the India and separate into two branches. Okay, so this is in the normal year, if we talk about. And when it is the El Nino year, so you can say El Nino and La Nina. Okay, these are the, you can say, El Nino southern oscillations, okay, in the Pacific Ocean, which impact the climate all around the world. So now just take its opposite. Okay, what is happening because of the climate change, pollutions and human anthropogenic impact on the climate. Okay, the weather patterns are reversing itself. Okay, so what is happening, usually we used to see that this region, in the time period from June to September, it used to be cold. But when it is the El Nino year, so it is warm. As I told you, that what does this mean, that when a particular ocean surface is warm, it means that it have low pressure. So the when pressure is very low, the winds, which is carrying their moisture through the Pacific Ocean to the Indian, through the Indian Ocean to Indian subcontinent, okay, they are slowing down, and this process is getting reversed. Okay, when this process is getting reversed, so the whatever we have, the moisture which southern southwest oscillation, or these kind of winds used to, carry with themselves to Indian subcontinent, they are not there. Okay, when there is the El Nino year, so whatever the rainfall we received in the normal year from these winds which are coming through the Pacific Ocean and then crossing the Australia through Indian Ocean to the Indian subcontinent. Okay, they are missing in the El Nino years. Okay, so it is not that big. Indian monsoon is just because of the El Nino. Okay, I mean, they depend on this kind of weather pattern or these kind of the winds. Okay, there are other, you can say, factors which compensate all, like Indian Ocean dipole. All these things compensate the impact of El Nino. So that's a separate issue altogether. What I'm saying here is that whatever the water quantity or whatever the wind moisture you used to receive from these winds which move through the Pacific Ocean, then Australia, then Indian Ocean, and then strike the Indian subcontinent, okay, they are missing. They are very weak, or near to zero in super El Nino year. And it is projected by the Indian Meteorological Department in 2026 that there will be huge impact of El Nino on India's monsoon. So I hope you understand this, that how El Nino works and how it impacts the Indian monsoon. So let me wind out in it in a second. See, this is the India. Okay, and I told you, if this is the Tropic of Cancer. Okay, and I told you that during summer days, okay, in northern hemisphere, so the sun is near the Tropic of Cancer. Okay, so in this time the equator, the intertropical ITCZ move upward, okay, in the northern region. Okay, and the winds coming from the Pacific Ocean, okay, is getting weaker. So when the winds coming from the Pacific Ocean, from the western shore of Southern America, okay, they are very weak or near to the zero. So the impact of the rainfall, or you can say the amount of the rainfall which India receive, is very very less. Okay, so this is the impact of El Nino on Indian monsoon. If you like the video, then please subscribe the channel.